Greta Thunberg is stuck on the wrong continent because they moved the climate change summit. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on BusinessInsider.com. So this is hilarious. I personally find Greta Thunberg absolutely grating. She annoys me to the core. She's literally a unwell, small child who thinks she knows everything about climate change and the world and thinks she's saving the world because she saw a documentary when she was just a little kid. So here on Business Insider, Greta Thunberg is stuck on the wrong continent after the year's most important UN climate change summit got moved from Chile to Spain. You get what you frickin' deserve. So here you see her holding a sign on her little boat. I personally find her cringy. I'm tired of seeing her smug face everywhere. I think she's annoying and she's wrong. Like, there's no way to stop climate change. It's run away. And even if you force developed countries like America to stop polluting more, which we already do, we have pretty good standards for lowering emissions. You're not going to stop China. China ignores every single accord it joins. Like, it'll say, oh sure, we'll do better environment. And then they don't, because they don't give a crap. And you think anyone tells them otherwise? No, because China has more balls. The UN itself is irrelevant. It's such a stupid idea. It's a fake attempt to control the world. I personally think the UN should be disbanded. Now, Greta Thunberg here is stuck on the wrong continent because they moved the summit. It's hilarious. The most famous youth climate activist doesn't fly. Because of air travel's large carbon footprint, Greta Thunberg relies on trains and boats for transportation instead. But that's put the Swedish 16-year-old in a bit of a bind. Thunberg traveled from the UK to New York City on the Malaysia 2, a sailboat that runs on solar power and wind, of course, in order to speak at the United Nations Climate Action Summit.
How dare you! You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words.
She's so full of it. Her plan was to stay in the Americas until the UN COP25 Climate Summit in early December. But on Friday, the event got moved to Madrid because the Chilean capital is in the throes of riots and protests. Now Thunberg is looking for a low-emissions way to travel back across the Atlantic Ocean before COP25 commences on December 2nd. It turns out, I've traveled half around the world the wrong way, she tweeted on Friday, adding, if anyone could help me find transport, I would be so grateful. Now, it's no secret that Greta Thunberg suffers from Asperger's. It basically means she's on the spectrum. She has the tism, but not the good kind. I really don't like it when people like this try to be activists and do things because they really don't understand the world. You see, people on the spectrum have trouble abstracting, and abstraction is what makes human human. It's what allows us to be able to allow social cues and advanced functioning. Without abstraction, trust me, my friends, it's just not good. Like this person, I don't expect her to truly understand the way the world works. She's living in a fantasy land, and she doesn't even know it. Could Thunberg travel home the same way she came? To reach the US, Thunberg sailed with the crew of the Malaysia 2, a zero-emission sailboat. Now, there's no such thing as zero emissions because the sailboat itself costs emissions to make. Plastic, wood, all of it comes from somewhere. The clothes she's wearing caused emissions, like it's impossible. Just being alive causes emission because we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. It's so foolish. Her father and a documentary filmmaker were on board too. The boat's captain, Boris Herman, and fellow sailor Pierre Casaraghi volunteered to help them cross the Atlantic at no cost. Only a handful of zero-emission vessels like the Malaysia 2 exist. Casaraghi told the New York Times, well, it's not zero emissions. Like I said, it costs emissions to make it. The 3,000-mile journey from Plymouth, England to New York took 13 days, after which the crew of the Malaysia 2 returned to Europe. Thunberg never planned to sail back on the Malaysia 2. Her travel arrangements back to Sweden had always been up in the air. Even if Herman and the Casaraghi did not want to ferry Thunberg back across the Atlantic on the Malaysia 2, that might not be possible. The ship and its captain are in the mid-Atlantic, racing in the 114th Transat Jacques Vabre transatlantic sailboat race from Brazil to France. So while she's over there, stuck on on the continent, her boat people are out racing? That's funny. To make matters more complicated, Thunberg is in Los Angeles, so it would take her at least 3 days to get back to the Atlantic shores by train. Oh, that's not zero emission. Oh ho ho. She's so dumb. I swear to God. She's so dumb. Air travel's heavy carbon footprint. Thunberg's refusal to fly reflects a growing global awareness about airplanes' heavy carbon footprint. So a single round-trip flight between New York and California generates about 20% of the greenhouse gases your car emits in a year. Well, that is quite a lot, but it's also not going to stop me from flying. Like, I don't care. I really don't. There's nothing we can do. No one else is going to stop. If you really want to stop climate change, you basically have to snap away most of humanity. That's the only way at this point. Okay, so it's not going to happen. And I'm sure as hell not going to hurt the American economy just so China can be like, yeah, whatever, and pollute anyway. Since arriving in North America, Thunberg has relied mostly on trains and buses to get to meetings and events. Yeah, zero carbon footprint my ass. She testified before the U.S. Congress in September, chatted with Barack Obama, and gave a fiery, tearful speech to world leaders at the UN Climate Action Summit in New York. Yeah, it was cringy, it was lame, and everybody made fun of her.
How dare you?
Because she's just a little moron who doesn't know anything. She's a child. I'm aware she's a teen, but mentally she's a child. Most recently, Thunberg has been traversing Canada, where she met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. You know, personally, I think that's an insult and an embarrassment, so I don't see how that's something to be proud of. You met the most cucked leader in the world, Trudeau. Yeah, he's absolutely cucked. It really pisses me off that this little autistic girl is being showboated and paraded around the world and given all this praise for basically being a puppet to the elites and the globalists who want to push their agendas, who want to collect more tax money, who want more control. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just a child. She doesn't know anything. I don't care how old she is physically. Mentally, she is just immature. She doesn't understand. And she has mental problems which don't really allow her to see the world in a normal light. She's not someone who should be the face of your movement. This is why the whole climate change activism movement is a sham. It is a sham. Climate change is real, yes. But at any moment, for any reason, we could plunge into an ice age. And then it won't even matter. Or maybe the sun will heat up exponentially and we'll get a very, very hot age. What does it matter? We can't control that. In the grand scheme of things, the climate's going to do what the climate do. Humans need to hurry up, evolve, and get better technology. But activism's stupid and pointless and only slows us down. Imagine a train, and it's about to go off a cliff. Climate activists are like, oh my god, there's a cliff. Slow down the train, then we can save ourselves. But guess what? It's already too late. You see, even if we push the brakes on the train and stop polluting completely, the train is going too fast and is too close to the edge that even if you do, it's still going to slide off and fall off the cliff. So what's the solution? Speed up the train. We should be going ham, going crazy, and pushing our technological advancement to the limit so that we can build boosters and wings on the plane and instead of falling, fly off the cliff. That is a solution, not environmentalism. We do not need environmentalism. We need technologicalism. We need to push our science and technology instead of trying to suppress it with this climate activism. So really, you're trying to save the environment, but you're going to end up killing everyone because they're all going to fall off the cliff. But since Chilean President Sebastián Piñera withdrew Santiago as the UN summit host, Thunberg no longer plans to travel farther south. I'm so sorry. I will not be able to visit South and Central America this time. I was so looking forward to this. But this is, of course, not about my experiences or where I wish I could travel. We're in a climate and ecological emergency. I send my support to the people in Chile, Thunberg tweeted on Friday. So there you have it. Greta Thunberg is stuck on the wrong continent. Hilarious. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? What do you think about Greta Thunberg? And what do you think about her being stuck? Be sure to let me know. Now, as always, because I have no faith in YouTube or Google and basically don't trust them at all, be sure to join me on Patreon or Subscribestar if you're interested. You can join for as low as $1, and doing so will get you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server. There's also PayPal and Bitcoin links. All that's in the description. There's also my social media. Be sure to follow me there, as well as a source for the story. Oh, and sharing my videos helps a lot. We're being suppressed, these days. Anyone who doesn't agree with the agenda of the left and YouTube and corporations and big tech, we're being censored in the algorithms. So share the video if you want to help out. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.
Right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now.